So last night I forgot to plug in.
Uh-oh.
Drove to work this morning, my usual 35-mile commute to work, expecting to plug in at a charger just under a mile from my work, and I usually use my little Segway that I have to do the sort of that last mile commute, as they call it, and then I usually go back at lunchtime 4 hours later and pick the car up when it's fully charged by that stage. But the charger wouldn't open this morning, the card wouldn't work for some reason, and I hadn't timed the phone and sorted it all out in order to get down to work and clocked in. So I decided to leave it, and I thought, yeah, I'm definitely going to have enough. I'll have enough to get home. But the wind was right in my face tonight. It was quite heavy rain as well. Oh, I misjudged. I was driving up the dual carriageway at 60 miles per hour, and then I kind of realised about 20 miles from this destination here that I might not make it. So I knocked it back to about 55, and then when I ended up about 7-8 mile away from here, I seen that I still wasn't going to make it. It was still going to be very, very tight. So I knocked it back to 45, 50 in between that. And there was a brief bit of freewheeling done whenever I could do some freewheeling at any kind of hill. Now this location of this rapid charger that I'm currently parked at, there's quite an uphill drag. It's a gradual uphill drag the whole way with the headwind. So it seemed to suck the energy out of the car. I was just like watching it drop, and I didn't know whether I was going to make it or not. And then when you get to the very top, then there's quite a downhill for it's probably about 3 miles, between 2 and 3 miles of a downhill. And you can actually, I have done it before where I've landed at this charger. I've landed this charger with a very low state of charge, 1%, 3 times now in my 20 months of owning this car. So you can freewheel basically 3 miles all the way to this charger, the way the road's situated. So tonight I've arrived, let me just swap it around. This is what we've arrived with tonight. 1% again, and a very angry turtle. So we'll get charged up here. So since I am this low, I'm going to take this opportunity to see if I can test the state of health of my car. So I'm going to fill it all the way up to now 8 minutes past 6. By the time I plugged in here, it'll be about 10 past or so. By the time I get the card reader working, and we'll get charged up, and I'll come back to you whenever I'm finished charging, and we can tot up the kilowatts that the battery has taken. So we'll see you later. Bye. Okay, that's it, charged to 94%. It's telling me now the final 6% is going to take another 15 minutes on the AC side. So I'm now plugged in there. It took 22.3 kilowatts from 1% up to 94%. So it'll be interesting to see what it puts in here in the last 6%. There's definitely degradation by the looks of things. So that's what took this opportunity since I've arrived here with the 1%. I've seen Bjorn do this before, so that's where I got the idea from. So I'm hoping to know once and for all what the battery health is, because my local Kia dealer couldn't do it for me. They don't apparently have either the software or tell me what the state of health of the battery is. So I guess this is the only way of doing it. It's as close as you're going to get, like 1%. As you can see, I don't know if it's showed it on the Torque Pro. I guess we'll see when I link this on the video, because I can't actually see it at the moment. Even though the car was showing 1%, the state of health or charge of the car, according to the car inside the car, I don't know what you call that, the BMS, is showing 3%. But as lots of other sole users will testify, when the Kia says 0, that means 0. The car just stops at the side of the road. It gives you I don't know, a few 100 yards to get pulled in safely somewhere. But once it goes to zero, that's you dead at the side of the road. But even though it shows 1%, you've still actually got 2 spare percent at the bottom end of the battery, so I guess that's like its buffer. Likewise, as you see there, when it was reading 94%, it was, what was it reading, 89.5%, even though it was saying 94% in the car. So again, as you'll see, I'll throw a screenshot up of Torque Pro when it's fully charged here, but when the car is fully charged, the car says 100%, but the BMS says 95. So that's where they say these batteries are supposed to not degrade as much, because even though you're charging the car to 100%, it's not actually 100%. It's charging away there. I can hear the fans running away there still. As you've seen there, it went to level 4 in the fan and it held 40 degrees basically. So it seems to be once it gets to level 4, it can hold the battery at a set temperature, which seems to be around 40 degrees, sorry. So I'll log off here and I'll let the car charge up to 100%, and I'll take another photograph of the kilowatts that's been drawn on the AC side now. So we've so far only pulled 22.3 kilowatts on the DC side, so we'll see what we get on the AC side here. I think I've worked it out before, approximately 4% equates to 1 kilowatt. So that's actually quite bad. If we add that up right, but we'll see when it's finished. Let's get the car up here. It's at 96% now. It's going to take 10 more minutes, so I'll hang up and I'll come back in 10 minutes. Okay, bye. Okay, so there we go. On the AC side, we pulled 1.7 kilowatts, and I'll attach the photo. It's now reading that I've got 77 miles at 3.7 miles per kilowatt. Now that's been the same setting since I did the 500 miles, so that's an average over, well, we've now 45,868 miles on this car. Yeah, that's a little disappointing. That's quite a bit of degradation, I think. I'll work out the percentage when I get home. Well, that's a bit disappointing, and this is an 11 degree night, so as we really get into the winter and it drops to below 5 degrees, that's when it really starts to hurt the car, the range. I'm a little worried now that I'll have less than 70 miles come this winter. Last winter it floated around 73 miles roughly every morning for the 100% charge. With the odd morning it dropped to 72, but it stayed around 73, so a little worried now that that'll drop below 70 into the high 60s. If that's the case, then I don't know what to do. The car will barely do what I need it to do every day as my commute to work. When I test drove this car when it was brand new, it was around 81 miles, if I remember right. It was around the 81 mile mark for a full charge in the mornings, and this was in February, which we're pretty much in the depths of winter here in Northern Ireland. So I had it for 3 days, and that's why I took it for 3 days, was to test it. So we'll see. I'll get home, work out what the percentages are, and I might have to make a visit to Kia and get them to investigate it and see, is there a case for battery degradation replacement. But we'll leave it for here for now, and we'll see you again. Okay, bye.